Welcome back, tool fans. Tonight, we've got 8 new Packout products,
2 reviews from Milwaukee, Ego Cat, a bunch of head-to-heads, and Bosch is about to give you exactly what you've been yelling for.
Plus, we got tool show and tell with our friends at Husqvarna.
In beautiful Sweden.
No, this is their headquarters in North Carolina.
This isn't Sweden?
Those stories and more coming up next on the Tool Show.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Sarah, that's Rob, and before we share the Husqvarna event with you, we've got some tool news to get to, starting with a huge teaser from Bosch.
No, wait. Before we do the Bosch teaser, I have something important I need to say to my parents, but naturally I realize that, very few of you guys are my parents, so I'll do it at the end of the show. So if you are my parents, please watch to the end. That's all I have to say. Sarah, go ahead.
Thanks. This week, Bosch sent out invitations to a live event they're planning for May 16th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on YouTube, and they're not being too shy about the reason. In their Instagram post, they state that the Bosch AmpShare program is coming to the US and Canada soon. What's AmpShare? Well, we first saw this announcement pop up on the Bosch UK YouTube channel over 8 months ago, where they revealed that they will be offering their batteries to other tool manufacturers and labeling them as AmpShare because they're sharing amps with others. So it's pretty obvious they're going to be doing that here in the States, which for many of you is exactly what you've been screaming for. But of course, we won't know the details until their US live event on May 16th. We'll be there looking in the comment section, so if you see us, say hi.
So do you think Milwaukee will start using all Bosch batteries?
No, I do not.
All right, interesting. Guess we'll see.
No, we already know.
Okay, we need to first get this out of the way. We all have the same problem, a Packout obsession. As far as we know now, there's no cure. This means that when Milwaukee announces more expensive add-ons for the series, you have 2 options. A, switch over to Flex Stack Pack, which comes with some built-in features Packout doesn't. Or, B, just tell Milwaukee to use your card on file. Either way, brace your wallets, boys. This week, Milwaukee launched 8 new Packout products. There are 2 new Packout hooks, the 4-inch single straight hook, which is $11.98, and the 7-inch hook rack, which is $19.98. The compact wall baskets, $24.98, magnetic bin for $9.98, large magnetic bin for the larger magnetic-y things for $14.98, a belt clip rack, which looks cool, for $19.98, a magnetic rack for $29.98, and finally a long-handled tool holder for $22.98, which I could have sworn they already have. Might be mixing that up with Ryobi. Anywho, availability starts now for some of these products, while others will join us in June. Congrats and my condolences.
It's always hard to celebrate new Packout stuff because you know you'll love it, but it's gonna hurt your wallet.
Yeah, you can't win.
First world problems. Speaking of, in case you haven't noticed, we missed a couple of our production crew live show giveaways recently because one of us was sick.
Yo.
But now one of us is better.
Yo.
Yeah. So we're planning a massive double shelf giveaway for this coming Monday evening, May 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Tool Show.
That's right, we'll be giving away 2 of our prize shelves to 2 different production crew members. Plus, you have many opportunities to win prizes just for people in the live chat. So even if you aren't a member of the channel, you can still come and hang out with us, have a good time, maybe laugh a little bit, and even win something.
So mark your calendar and join us this Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Now, as long as you obviously have your calendar out right now, setting reminders for Monday night, why not buy a plane ticket to Columbus, Ohio for this coming Wednesday, May 17th, and join Sarah and I at the Ohio Power Tool Open House from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m.
Idea.
Right? There will be an extra 10% off anything in stock from major brands like Milwaukee, DeWalt, and Bosch.
There will be a lot of giveaways, including a $1,500 custom M18 Milwaukee kit, a solo stove, and more.
And you can actually partake in a bunch of live demos from 26 different top brands, including Milwaukee, Bosch, Rigid, DeWalt, Ego Flex, Skill, Festool, Steel, Klein, Gear Wrench, Block Ladder, Saw Stop, and more.
And in between booths, you can stop and grab a bite to eat and even say hello to me.
I'm going to be there too.
That's great. You can say hello to me too. The Ohio Power Tool Open House is Wednesday, May 17th from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at 999 Goodale Boulevard in Columbus. I hope to see you there.
Now, before we get to our favorite tool videos of the week, it's time again for Tool Show and Tell. All right, guys, welcome to beautiful
Sweden!
Sure. So we're here with our friends from Husqvarna that are showing us today their new line of outdoor power equipment for 2023. And it includes, like, let's see, their mowers,
Chainsaws.
we've got string trimmers,
And robots.
and robots. Lots of cool stuff to see. So Sarah, where do you want to start?
Chainsaws.
Let's go check out the chainsaws.
This was our very first trip to Husqvarna.
And while we were there to get our hands on all of the new outdoor power equipment for 2023, we were both interested in getting to know the brand a bit better.
Now, it's always fun to visit the US headquarters for a foreign manufacturer. We get to see just how involved the US team is, and more often than not, we're surprised to see just how much work is being done right here in the States.
And Husqvarna was no different. We got an amazing tour of their R&D division and got to talk to engineers about their design language, goals, and development process. It was really fascinating.
They even took us behind the scenes to see where they run a huge number of tests on all their tools. They were automating string trimmers turning on and off 1 billion times. They built a custom rig to use water to test chainsaws, and they would even run their zero turns on these huge testing rigs, beating the crap out of them 24/7 for weeks at a time. And to be honest, Sarah was not too happy about that.
He just wants to go home.
But Sarah, he is home. They're just being mean to him.
Talk about something else.
We got to meet a ton of amazing people, including their executive team,
Their marketing team.
and even a few product managers and engineers. It was encouraging to see so many people playing critical roles here in the States.
But probably most surprising of all, we didn't realize just how many Husqvarna OPE products are produced right here in the USA. They actually have 6 plants in the US where they build chainsaws, trimmers, mowers, and more.
Now, speaking of their tools, Sarah and I got a chance to try them all, and we were genuinely impressed. Their new 40-volt cordless line felt very powerful, and they're speccing these tools to take on Ego in their home turf and Lowe's.
We played with several chainsaws where I had my first experience with a gas-powered one. If I'm being honest, I still like their battery-powered one better. It was very torquey, and I'm not super pumped about messing with gas.
We also got to try out their new Excite Z350 and Z380 petrol-powered zero turns, and they were pretty great. Control was good, they're super fast, and they have a separate adjustable smooth ride suspension system that was easily the most comfortable seat I've ever been on in a zero turn, especially over the really bumpy stuff.
Both mowers are gas-powered for now, but one of their engineers suggested that we can expect a battery-powered version in the future. Cannot wait.
We also got to see their latest lawn mowing robots, which were super smart. Now, they're not cheap, but apparently they make the best. Overall, we learned a lot about a really cool Swedish company who's designing and making some pretty amazing tools right here at home.
All right, guys, that does it for us here in beautiful North Carolina.
Sweden.
Sure. Special thanks to our friends at Husqvarna for inviting us. I saw a ton of cool stuff. I gotta be honest, I didn't realize they've been making robotic mowers for 25 years.
Insane.
Yeah, so a lot of that tech was really surprising. Their zero turn, amazing, the most comfortable thing I've ever sat on. I don't know, your chainsaws are pretty nice.
I like the chainsaws. I was also more impressed with the robot mower than I thought I would be.
Yeah, she
It was really fun.
All right, guys, that's enough from North Carolina.
Yeah, sure.
Or Sweden. Whatever. All right, back to you, Rob and Sarah.
We're right here.
Oh my God.
Before Rob gets to his cryptic message to his parents, let's look at a few of our favorite tool videos this week, starting with Tim Johnson in the history of the Sawzall. Tim grabbed the M18 fuel Sawzall with one key tech and wanted to show it off, but first he gave us a brief history lesson on the Sawzall itself. But once you're edumacated, he promptly dives into the extra technical details of the one key version. He then details how to select the right blade for each application, and finally how to use the thing properly, which, by the way, you're doing it wrong, but he'll fix ya. This thing has always been a reliable mainstay of the Milwaukee brand, but now that it is loaded with extra technology to help precisely dial in settings, it's really something else entirely. For the full review, please visit Shop Tool Reviews.
Mark Thomas unboxes a new chainsaw.
Cuddy.
Do I have to call it
Cuddy.
a new cuddy
with a familiar logo, but not one we're used to seeing on our show. That is the CAT 60-volt 18-inch brushless chainsaw, and yeah, the yellow logo on the side is more commonly seen on wandering or sometimes stranded construction equipment on the side of the highway. But now you can proudly display that badge on your tools at home. Mark unboxes the new tool, demonstrates its features, and puts it to work on some small limbs around the property, including a rapid-fire cookie test. This is CAT's first foray into household OPE, and while this first peek looks encouraging, I'm still anxious to see the rest of the tools put to work. For the entire review, head over to Mark Thomas Builder.
Torque Test Channel proves once again that the specs that you find on the box may be a very slight exaggeration of the reality found in the box, or a huge exaggeration. This time they set out to test high-speed ratchets, including 2 Makitas, a Ryobi, and a Milwaukee. They of course forced these poor tools to do unspeakable things, all in the name of torque truth, which is why we love them. To find out who is worth the money, who snapped under pressure, and who got the closest to their advertised numbers, visit the Torque Test Channel.
Todd is back doing the Lord's work this week by testing the phrase, "Nothing runs like a Honda," specifically when it comes to gas generators. He compares a Honda EU 2200i with a Predator and a Gen Max. He looks at price, fuel efficiency, voltage drop during high energy demand applications, cleanliness of electricity, noise, and more. All to find out if the $400 little guy can maybe run like a $1,300 Honda. To find out, head over to Project Farm.
Ego recently surprised us with a third version of their popular Z6 battery-powered zero-turn, this time adding an F1-inspired steering wheel, as if you need more ways to subtly tell your neighbor, yes, I'm most definitely better than you.
'Cause I am.
And who better to review such a monster than the king of green himself, our buddy Alan, better known as the lawn care nut. This guy won't just let any mower enjoy the premium clippings found on a lawn care nut lawn, but this one is different. It enjoys the many benefits already acknowledged in the Ego Z6, but the steering wheel is the real star of the show. Rob and I got to try it out at last year's Equip Expo, and it's amazing how natural it is to use. Unlike a typical steering wheel, when you turn this one to its limits, it will start to rotate on its axis just like a zero turn. But for those of us who struggle with zero turn bars,
Sarah.
yes, the steering wheel is far easier to use, helping you make perfect cutting paths along edges and perfectly straight lines for the rest of it. Alan was pretty impressed with the steering, but seemed even more impressed with the IP4 rating against splashing water. For the full review, head over to the Lawn Care Nut.
And our last video this week is from Tools Day over at RR Buildings. This week, Kyle has a question for you.
Are you tired of smashing your fingers installing joist hangers? Then today's Tools Day is for you.
Yes, Kyle. I am tired of smashing my fingers installing joist hangers.
When have you ever installed a joist
Joist
hanger?
hangers can be a pain in the butt, especially when you're hammering them in one by one.
Which you have never done.
So what's a cool post-frame building builder to do? Well, you have two options. You can either make Greg do it, or if you don't have a Greg like me, you can use a PPN nailer. And this week, Kyle got a hold of the all-new pass-load cordless 1.5-inch positive placement metal connector nailer, or Pac-Man for the pros out there.
Not how that would be pronounced.
This nailer comes in at a reasonable 6.7 pounds and can drive 800 nails on a single fuel cell. You probably don't need this thing, but the thousands of DIYers who think they can build a post-frame building because they watched a few RR building videos, well, we need it. You can see the whole review over at RR Buildings.
It's time for our Platinum Tool Deal. Every week, our friends at Ohio Power Tool provide us with a limited use code that gives you a better deal than anywhere else. This week, we have a free 5 amp hour DCB 205 DeWalt battery with any $250 in-stock purchase of DeWalt cordless 20-volt tools.
Now, OPT set up a page where you can find the perfect tool to buy in order to get this free $80 battery from DeWalt.
The code is TS47895.
Now remember, this code will only work for the first 25 people, so move fast. And finally, I wanted to say something to my parents. So if you're not them, you can leave. Mom, Dad, happy 50th anniversary. I can honestly say I have no idea how you got here, considering the nightmare that you had to deal with raising my siblings. Amy and Jeff were the worst. Congratulations to both of you, and thank you both for loving each other as much as you clearly love your kids and your grandkids. Happy anniversary.
Aw, that was nice.
You know what else is nice? Moms.
You remembered!
Of course I did. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. And to all the other moms out there that do so much for their kids. That's it.
I'm a mom.
What do you mean?
two beautiful children.
Oh yeah, those guys are awesome. Oh, well, then happy Mother's Day, rock on.
Thank you. And thank you, Skill Power Tools and Spider Pro Accessories. We want to thank them both for continuing to support our show and our community of tool fans.
All right, guys. Excellent segue. All right, guys, before we go, please join us this Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have our live show, give away a bunch of stuff. Plus, we're going to be making our very first Block Louder Tool Show merch drop.
So excited.
Just for the people who tune in. So be sure to be there. And if you have the time this weekend, please go out of your way to do something kind for somebody else. And we'll see you next week.